In July 2020, the granddaughter of a Manson family victim was found stabbed to death in her Colorado apartment. Ariana Woke had met the same violent end as her grandmother 50 years earlier. What witnesses told detectives was deeply disturbing. Welcome to Haunted Shadow True Crime Story. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more true crime cases. Today's case takes us to Colorado in 2020, but the details unfortunately harken back to a brutal murder in California 5 decades earlier. The details surrounding this case are far less well known, yet some are chillingly similar and equally strange. Let's take a look. On Friday, July 3rd at 9:30 p.m., Denver 911 received a call from a resident on North Oneida Street. A man had knocked on their door saying his friend upstairs was dead. 40-year-old Ariana Woke was found on her bedroom floor with nearly 20 stab wounds to her back and neck. The friend who discovered her explained she'd been struggling with alcohol addiction and was staying temporarily to help her sobriety. Ariana's young son was with family that night. She'd planned to attend a barbecue with her boyfriend that day. A downstairs neighbor had seen Ariana earlier, and she wasn't alone. The neighbor described a white man who knocked on her door around 8:45 p.m., saying Ariana was acting strange and threatening to harm herself. He claimed he was leaving, but 30 minutes later, the neighbor saw him shirtless in the backyard. 15 minutes after that, Ariana was found dead. Ariana was born in 1979 into a family marked by tragedy. In August 1969, her mother Susan discovered her own parents, Rosemary and Leno LaBianca, brutally murdered in their Los Angeles home, victims of Charles Manson and his followers. The LaBianca murders occurred the night after the infamous Sharon Tate killings. Manson, unhappy with how those murders went, took his followers to find another home. They chose Leno LaBianca's house. Both he and Rosemary were stabbed dozens of times. Ariana was born 10 years after these killings. At 40, she was just 2 years older than her grandmother had been when she too was stabbed to death. Detectives found a blood trail from the bedroom through the living room to the kitchen, where a bloody folding knife sat in the sink. The obvious suspect was Patrick, Ariana's on-again, off-again boyfriend. They had a history of domestic violence, and he was on pre-trial release from a May incident, but his ankle monitor proved he wasn't at her address that day. Patrick introduced another lead. Ariana frequently invited homeless strangers to her apartment when drinking. At Walgreens that afternoon, she'd been with an unknown young man she'd just met on the street, a white guy in his 20s with dark hair and a stylish haircut. Multiple neighbors confirmed Ariana regularly had new people at her home. One described seeing her with a Mexican guy with a box cut and red shoes falling down the stairs. When asked if he'd pushed her, Ariana said no. He's gay. Surveillance footage from 5:15 p.m. showed Ariana walking with a man in all black with bright red shoes, carrying a Starbucks cup with pink drink. He had a distinctive tattoo on his left forearm. A similar Starbucks cup was found on Ariana's lawn. Fingerprints returned a match. Jose Sandoval Romero, 24 years old, matching the description perfectly. On July 7th, Jose was brought in for questioning. Unlike Patrick, he had 2 partially healed cuts on his right hand, consistent with a knife slipping during stabbing motions. These cuts likely caused the blood droplets found throughout the apartment. Wearing sunglasses due to light sensitivity, Jose told a bizarre story. He claimed Ariana and Patrick were arguing outside Walgreens. After Patrick left, Ariana asked Jose to help her home because she kept stumbling. He said she kept talking about putting frog poison in him. Inside the apartment, he made her tea. Then he claimed she became violent. Jose offered a confusing mix of motives. Ariana convinced him to kill her as the only way to help her. She threatened that her boyfriend was coming to kill him. She attacked him with the knife first. Detectives didn't buy it. Jose admitted stabbing Ariana twice in the back as she walked toward her bedroom closet, facing away from him. After the murder, he stripped off his bloody clothes, threw everything in a dumpster, and hid at his mother's house for days. The detective put it bluntly. It's one of the worst stabbings I've seen in my 23 years of law enforcement. Jose pleaded guilty. In early 2023, he was sentenced to 48 years in prison. His earliest release date is July 2055. Ariana's mother, Susan, 72 years old when her daughter was murdered, was too grief-stricken to comment. Having discovered her own mother's body in 1969, she'd now lost her daughter to the same violence.
Ariana's sister created fundraisers to bring her body back to California and establish a trust fund for Ariana's young son.
And that was the tragic case of Ariana Woke. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next one. Keeping it objective, always been effective.